All right, it is 7 o'clock on December 10th, 2019. I will open the Village of Davis Junction regular board meeting. Jess, if you could take roll call.
Sure. Trustee and President Pro Tem William Luxinger.
Here.
Trustee Dina Simpson.
Here.
Jen Christensen.
Here.
John Talbot.
Here.
Chris Samples.
Here.
Jared Doan.
Here.
Treasurer Brenda Onabany.
Here.
I, Deputy Clerk Jess Pearson, are here. Public Works Supervisor Brett Fergie.
Here.
And Rick Worm is absent.
At this time, if everyone would please stand. And recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. At this time, does any board member wish to pull an item from the consent agenda for further discussion?
Do you want to list them first?
Yeah, let's list them.
Okay. On the consent agenda tonight, number 1, November 12, 2019, regular board minutes. Number 2, bills payable and warrant list dated December 10th, 2019. Number 3, 2020 meeting calendar. Number 4, ordinance number 19-27, an ordinance authorizing disposal of personal property owned by the Village of Davis Junction, old wastewater treatment plant blowers, computers, cell phones, and census radio read system.
Forgive me as this is not my normal duty, and I'm working through the errors here, so. Now, at this time, does any board member wish to pull an item from the consent agenda for further discussion? No? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to establish the agenda.
I move to place agenda items 1 through 4 inclusively as consent agenda items. Further, I move that all items be considered together as a consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Chris made a motion to approve the consent agenda items 1 through 4. Dina seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Clerk, would you take the roll call?
Jen?
Yes.
Jared?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Dina?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
And William.
Yes.
I move to adopt items 1 through 4 inclusively on the consent agenda in the single group pursuant to the omnibus vote procedure specified in Illinois Municipal Code.
I'll second that.
Chris made a motion to approve and adopt the consent agenda items 1 through 4 inclusively on the consent agenda in the single group pursuant to the omnibus vote procedures specified in the Illinois Municipal Code. And Dina seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, take the roll.
Jared?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Dina?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
All yes.
Moving on, do we have a water bill drawing?
We did.
Connor, would you like to do the honors? All you gotta do is pull a card, buddy. Mix them up real good.
Would be coincidental.
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
It would. 362 Lily Circle. Again, thank you to the residents for turning in your water bill and entering yourself into the drawing to receive a $25 discount. Under Rick is the discussion and possible approval of the electric aggregate rate for the village's plumbing as well as the village's street lights. So I do have pumping. I apologize. Gotta get rid of this gum. I do have the updated rates from today. I'll do the pumping for the wastewater treatment plant.
Those are the same ones that you sent us, right?
Yes.
It's the same study. The rates are as of this morning. They pulled updated rates
Yeah, they,
and that
Yeah,
at least,
we got
okay.
an email.
hold on a second, let me see if it's the same one or not. Yeah,
So the cheapest rate for the 3-year that we had discussed last week would be Dynegy Energy at, the .04858.
Wasn't it
I don't know, is there an issue with getting it from two different places, two different contracts, or no? All right,
No, not that I'm aware of. If you wanna compare the next one, this would be the streetlights,
yeah, that's where Constellation is cheaper.
I thought Constellation was cheaper on both.
It was last
Last
time.
week it was.
Okay.
It isn't this week.
Today, they, yeah,
Yeah, it's $20 difference, but I'm just rounding.
Okay.
about $25 cheaper on the
Right.
3-year rate. If we were to go to the 3-year rate, at the $25 rate, I mean, you divide that over 3 years, we're talking, what, like $7.75 a year? Is it better to cut one check to one company, Brenda? Does it matter to you?
Doesn't matter.
So, these are listed separately on the agenda, so we can make a motion however you guys wish. If you want to use Constellation to be consistent, I think when it comes down to the $20-something difference
Well,
over
kinda-
3 years.
It kind of depends on if everybody is, okay with going for 3 years, because the rates change. Constellation is cheaper if you're going 2, or not. I mean, to me, according to the guy who was here last week, I don't remember his name. What,
Mike
Mike
Mudge.
Mudge.
Mike explained that, we were pretty much at the historic low for the rate for electricity, and so we should probably lock in at the 3-year rate, was my understanding of it.
That's the way I
So
interpreted the conversation.
I don't have an issue with it, except for that, you know, actually the street lighting one makes little difference because it's, it apparently doesn't change much over year, but I'd go with 3 years for that too.
Does it matter, like, and I'd be with the 3 years on both of them as well, but does it matter whether, like, if Constellation was cheaper on one and Dynegy was cheaper on the other, does it matter doing 2 different places, or is that tougher, or?
It does not. I mean, it
It'll-
would be, we're
it'll-
cutting a check for each one either way, right?
It'll be a bill in the mail, and I'll just tie in, put it all the same way, so.
Okay. I mean, not that it's, like you said, not that it's a major difference, but cheaper is cheaper.
No, it is, and that's fine with me.
So, yeah, my interpretation is the same as Chris's. Mike's presentation was, I understood this as, we are in the historic low for energy.
I'd go with 3.
I'm comfortable going 3, and the difference here with the pumping of the treatment plant and the wastewater plant, we're looking at barely $30, $10 a year difference, by going with the Dynegy Energy versus Constellation. And on the streetlights, Constellation is the cheaper.
So if you need a motion for the 3-year, you need the rate as well, correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
And-
so which one were you saying you wanted to go with for the pumping station?
Um,
Constellation or Dynegy?
Because the price is so comparable,
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
comfortable
really.
either way.
Me too, so,
I could
If-
go either way.
If it's easier for Brenda to cut one check to one company,
I'm not opposed
I'm comfortable
with going with Constellation for
I
both
am.
of them.
if that's what the board wants.
what do you think, John?
I agree. Good.
I'd do them both for Constellation,
Hold on a second.
or is that
I thought he was supposed to send us a
He
contract for
sent,
all of them.
he was supposed to send 1, 2, and 3 for all of them.
1, 2, and 3 for those. One second here, Diane.
he did say he was gonna send us
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3 for
Yeah.
all of them, because he didn't know who was gonna be the cheapest.
Is this one for the lighting, or is this one for the?
Which one are you looking at here?
No, I don't think we got 3 here.
I only have 1, 2, and 3 for,
Why would you do that?
they are all Constellation.
Okay. So what Mike did was he sent, only contracts for Constellation. He sent 6 contracts, the 12, 24, and 36 months for the pumping, 12, 24, and 36 months for the street lighting.
All for Constellation.
All for Constellation, because that was the lowest bid last week.
Right, we were gonna do that anyway.
So,
We
I mean,
decided that, right?
If
So-
you're gonna make the motion for Constellation, we can sign it tonight with the contract. If not, we'll have to wait till next week.
So do you
before
need
we
the
do-
rate with that as well?
I would.
Okay,
So the
which one
first
is
one
that
on the
one?
agenda is the pumping, and that's this one on the screen,
So 0.04861,
6-1.
gosh, sorry. Years, okay, 36 months. All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve of the electrical aggregation rate for the village's pumping services for a 3-year or 36-month term, in the amount of 0.04861 cents
Second.
per kilowatt.
To who?
To Constellation, thank you very much.
Dina made a motion to approve entering into an agreement with the electrical aggregation for the village's pumping services with Constellation for a 3-year agreement at a rate of 0.04861. It was seconded by Jared. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, would you take the roll?
Sure. John?
Yes.
Dina?
Yes?
Chris?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Jared?
Yes.
Motion passed at 7:12. I think that's a good rate to lock into. Next item is the street lights. And again, here are the rates that were quoted as of this morning.
All right. So then I'd like to make a motion to approve of the electrical aggregation rate for the village's street lights with Constellation in the amount of 0.02703 cents per kilowatt hour and for a 36-month or 3-year contract.
Second.
Dina made a motion to approve a 36-month agreement with Constellation for a rate of 0.02703 cents for the street lights within the village. It was seconded by Jared. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, would you take the roll call?
Dina?
Yes?
Chris?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Jared?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Motion passed, 7:13. Moving on down, is there anything from the deputy clerk to report?
No, I do not have anything.
Anybody have any questions on the treasurer's report?
I do not.
That's all I have.
All right, moving on. Reports from the committees, community development, and events.
I do have one thing.
Stand by.
Next Tuesday, our auditor is going to present the audit. So if you have any questions for her, she's gonna bring the books at that time.
Is,
No, you told me that.
is next Tuesday the 17th?
Yeah.
I'm unable to be here. We have Christmas concerts for 3rd and 5th grade. I won't be here either.
Okay.
Is everybody else going to be in attendance?
I will be.
We will be running into a quorum issue.
John?
Yes. I'll be here.
Okay. I'll be.
Why is it taking so long for them to get back to us this year,
Who?
the auditors?
I
Usually.
don't know. I don't know.
I'm not sure
Probably
that
because
this
they're
is much.
unfamiliar, they are a new
Usually
auditing firm.
it's
Usually
like
takes
one
longer
thing,
when
other
they're a new auditing.
Okay, usually we have it by the end of October,
Well, they have,
so,
most
I don't
auditing firms have a
Didn't you say that
routine.
the other people didn't get the stuff to them or something?
It's a new firm movement this year, just to,
I don't know.
kind of,
I don't know what they did.
we should be changing auditing firms every 3 to 5 years anyways, and we were well beyond that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a new firm takes a little longer to get reports from prior years and just to get into a routine.
Because on our
That's why you should change firms, because, they get so routine for
It gets a
some
little
people.
comfortable.
Yes, it
Yep.
gets very comfortable.
But on
I-
our end, we were here when they requested stuff, they came, did their audit the 2 days, well, actually it was 3 days the 1 week, and they came another day, so 4 days. So when they were here, we gave them everything they wanted, so anytime, so it wasn't on us, because we had everything ready for them.
We're not behind. They filed an extension with,
They had to, yeah. there's
But,
an
I mean,
extension
we're not-
that comes,
That's
so-
quite common.
yeah, right, so. Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry I didn't have a better answer, but
All right.
that's one of those questions you can ask her next week.
Jen?
No,
You ready for me now? Now I can speak?
I'm hoping.
Saturday, we had our Christmas, community Christmas evening party. It was a lot of fun. We had Slingo Bingo with Christmas songs. That was a lot of fun. Kids had a lot of fun with that. We had one of the pastors from, the Emmanuel Lutheran Church in Lindenwood, sketched on a bigger canvas the Joseph and Mary and the baby in the manger, and had kids paint by number, had colors, so they could have a turn. So that was kind of neat. We had crafts, coloring pages. Santa was there, Mrs. Claus, so it was a lot of fun. We had the tree lighting. It was a lot of fun. So
Thank you.
that's all I have.
Moving on to finance. I have nothing. Are there any emergency expenditures to ratify?
There's not.
Ordinance enforcement, Jared?
Nothing at this time.
Parks and John?
Nothing tonight, Wayne.
Man, I should do this more often. Streets and Chris?
Nope, nothing.
Back page.
Sorry.
Nina?
Hello. No. So we've been talking about this for ages now, it seems like, in terms of like, possible ordinance and establishing the fees and changing the fees for the water charges and, the wastewater charges as well. So what I thought I would do, I mean, we talked about this last week, so everybody knew it was gonna be on here, but I thought I would just read specifically how it's stated in the ordinance that I'm hoping to change, barring the conversation from last week. So what it says is rates as of January 1st, 2020, residential rates will increase by the amount of a quarter or 25 cents on January 1, and then 2021 and annually thereafter. So right now, if you're in village residential, you pay $3.75 per 1,000 gallons for water usage. So you'd be paying as of January 1, 2020, it would move to $4 per 1,000 gallons. So in terms of commercial, that's a little different as well. Rates as of January 1, 2020, commercial and industrial rates will increase by $1 on January 1st, and then on January 2021 and annually thereafter. So
It's $3.50 now.
I'm sorry, yes, it's $3.50 now, it would go to $3.75, I apologize, because this is updated already. And then same thing with, in terms of out of village, it was $5.50, and then would be $5.75 per 1,000 gallons. Thank you for that.
What page are you reading off of?
Absolutely. I'm on page 56 of 64.
Commercial is
$4.50.
$4.50.
Mine
Yeah.
shows it on my bookmarks.
Well, she's saying now, currently,
Yeah,
those are
correct.
the updated rates. That, they
Yeah,
just
those-
pack
We
it.
said $1, right?
It was, because they updated it
Here it
to
is.
$5.50. Industrial was $7.50 updated.
Well, industrial,
I can't recall.
commercial, okay, yeah. So commercial was for in-village $4.50, and then out of village, it would have been $6.50 per 1,000. Because commercial's different than
Right.
obviously. So, and then you can see as industrial as well. So for commercial and industrial, it was $5.50 in village, and it was $6.50 out of village. But those are the new rates as of January 1st, 2020, and then thereafter in 2021, it'd be annually done every year on the 1st. A quarter for residential and $1 for commercial and industrial.
A quarter for water and a quarter for sewer.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. And if
I don't have a major problem with this format, other than I'm not so sure I like the fact that there's no end date on this.
Well, I think the intent on that was we can do that anytime we want.
Yeah.
The conversation was anytime, so like if, the thought would be if there was industry that came in, or if there was something that changed and we had, more funding from something else, or something changes, then at any point in time that, we can change that in just a matter of another ordinance update.
Can you see that, Chris?
Yeah, except for that, we're not raising commercial rates $1 every year, are we?
The way it's worded, that's,
yes.
the way.
Because they, I got a phone call after the committee meeting that stated, with raising the residential rates, we'd never discussed the commercial rate, therefore, the residential rate actually would have been higher than the commercial rate. And that wasn't the
At
intent.
some point?
Immediately.
Oh, you mean,
Immediately.
oh, you're talking about the old okay,
Yes,
proposal?
so, because we never discussed the commercial rate.
All right.
And by raising it this rate, it stays at or just above the residential rate.
Which, to me, would make sense.
I thought we did discuss that, 'cause we said $1 per,
It-
on both sides. I remember talking about that.
It could have been.
Just at the end.
It was at the very, it was at the very end of,
You know, I'm not a business owner, but $1 a year on both sides seems kinda steep.
But this is this is going to effect in 2021.
for
Not,
commercial, yeah, not
yeah, not
Oh,
20,
all right,
residential
beginning of
rates
this
are
year.
2020.
all right, I got you.
yeah. So I think the first year increase is only residential, and the commercial doesn't get an increase.
Till 2021. No? No, rates on January 1st, 2020, commercial and
Yeah,
industrial.
2020.
They both say
Here
2021.
it is.
I think it's already been
Yeah.
updated there in the residential,
Yeah.
commercial. Yeah, that's already been updated. So the
Oh.
next one, those are the rates as of January 1, 2020, and then the actual next increase would be 2021. Does that make sense?
Well, under the same format, you know, if we feel that they're getting skewed,
Yeah,
We
no,
can
I
come
don't
back
have,
and
we
change
can
it.
go back and change it. I'm sure we will anyway.
I would,
I would
Within
I would
a year-
anticipate
Within 2
that,
years, I
if possible.
anticipate that. All right.
But I think we'll have a lot more, before we would do something like that, I would prefer a lot more conversation prior to all the work invested. I would prefer, I think. So if there's not any more discussion, I'm gonna make a motion and you guys we can hash it out from there. I make a motion to approve ordinance number 1928, an ordinance establishing fees, charges, fines, penalties, and other regulatory measures, annual fee ordinance. This ordinance increases the water and sewer rates for both residential and commercial customers.
I will second.
Jen made a motion to approve ordinance, Dina made a motion to approve ordinance number 19-28, an ordinance establishing fees, charges, fines, penalties, and other regulatory measures. Jen seconded. Is there any discussion?
Can I add a comment, since it's in discussion already? It's not to discuss against it. But I just wanted to make it, like, for the public that's out there listening to, the reason we went with this in terms of, like, the 25 cents for residential and whatnot, is we did something that would be, much more possible for residents in terms of those that are on Social Security, those that are on fixed incomes, those on the average that have, like, higher water usage. We did try to take all of that in mind, so we did not do the rip off the Band-Aid. We did not do everything tiered. We did something flat annually where people could actually budget for something. I did want to share that, too.
And not to mention, by going this route, it's gonna take us, I don't recall, 7 to 8 years to achieve,
12 and a half, it was
Yeah.
12 and a half.
Well, you,
12 and a half to reach their rate,
Yes.
7 or 8 years to reach the rate we were palatable with.
Right,
So it's gonna take a
I-
long period of time
yes.
to get to where
8 years,
the engineering firm and the study we had conducted states where we
Suggested.
need to be
right,
to be sustainable, so.
correct.
well, if nothing else, it gets us closer to them being sustainable on their own, which is the major goal.
Which is the
Correct.
purpose, yes. I just wanted to share that for anybody that's watching.
Any further discussion? Clerk, would you take the roll call?
Chris,
Yes.
William,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Jared,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Dina.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
Motion passed at 7:24. Anything else, Dina?
no, sir.
Moving on, anybody got anything for economic development? Hearing none? Open to the public? Just gotta use a microphone, young man, if you wouldn't mind turning it on. There's a button on
There's a little
top there.
circle on the top.
There you go.
You got it.
Does the light come
Did
on?
it turn green? There you go.
You good?
Hello, my name is Connor O'Sullivan, and I am here for my Citizenship and the Community Merit Badge for Boy Scouts, and I would like to ask a few questions.
Go for it.
There was a confusion about the bat size allowed in baseball this summer. Will there be anything done to make this less confusing next year?
Wow.
The gentleman, first of all, I'm not as familiar with the confusion, and the gentleman that would be is no longer employed here. We could very easily, if you let us know what the confusion was, we could pass it along to the individual in charge and get you an answer.
I think the confusion was, weight to,
Like-
diameter.
Okay, yeah.
I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was like, the max was maybe, was it 12 long?
Yeah.
And then
How about this? What age level of baseball? What,
fifth to sixth, I think.
fifth to sixth grade?
grade.
Okay.
Because then we
That
could
helps.
clarify what age
Yep.
group has what limits and what, yeah.
I think it
They
had,
follow
did
Little
it have to
League
do
or-
with the drop
or one of
10
the rest of
versus
them.
the,
That's exactly what it is, the drop.
Okay.
Just to add to that, to clarify,
Mike, you guys talk.
a certain rule was put out, and then it seemed like that was changed, and it wasn't communicated to everybody.
Is that the village that set that rule?
Probably the league.
Whoever
No, it was
ran the
probably the
league
league.
Yeah.
did that, and then the thing that really kind of concerned me was at a game, the umpires did not know the change, and it was
Not
made.
surprising.
So that was really the confusion, is
Okay.
everybody didn't know the final rule.
So maybe some
Okay.
communication between the league and us and clarifying and then have it
Yeah.
out.
Good thing for our parks guy.
Yeah.
Where is he, by the way?
He doesn't come to the, only if needed does he attend meetings.
All right. Carry on, young man.
One more question. Is there anything being done about the smell from the garbage dump?
In regards to the complaints we receive or the odors that people smell?
Both, I guess.
So, from my knowledge and experience with this village, we don't receive an overwhelming amount of complaints here. But the ones we do receive at Village Hall, because they are minor compared to neighboring communities, we defer them directly to the landfill that is within the village limits. Because there are two landfills directly side by side, it is hard to determine where it's coming from, and then that is also beyond our scope of investigation authority, so to speak. So we defer them to the landfill and then the Illinois EPA, if they need to follow further complaints.
Just out of curiosity, do you guys smell it often? I don't at my house. I don't live that farther, I so assume, past everybody else.
I don't know, like, how often, like, maybe like once every, like, 1 to 2 weeks.
Really? You smell it that often?
Worse
Holy
during
cow.
the winter, obviously, whatever that word. And it's just kind of intermittently in the village. I've noticed it less over the years. Used to be a lot worse. But when you get right around the place,
Sure.
oh, it's bad.
Yeah, I
No,
noticed,
no,
I noticed
definitely
it,
when
yeah.
you drive
Notice
past.
when you drive
I
past.
Well, you're
noticed
driving right between two garbage dumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I notice it less now than when we originally,
Yeah,
were
in
here.
the village.
Like you're
Yeah, I
used
do.
to it now?
But when you're, pardon?
Like you're used to it? I wasn't sure.
No, but no, seriously, I mean, we've been here, Justin's 18, so we've been here 17 years.
Yeah.
So
I've
like,
been here
I
about
notice
20.
it, like, far less now than I used to ever notice it. And I don't mean that I've gotten used to it, I truly don't smell it anymore. Maybe once in a while on a really humid day, or maybe like you said, once in a while in the winter, depending on where the
The
breeze is,
winter.
whatever. But like
Damp.
when you do go down 251 and you get in the midst of the two,
Oh, yeah, no.
and-
You drive close to it.
and
You get a half a mile
my
away
wonder
from
is,
it, you can
again,
smell it.
which one?
How about this? What if, I don't know what are you doing a merit badge? So what if we can accommodate that by every time we receive a notification of an issue, not only when we defer them to the landfill office and then the EPA, what if we start generating a log internally in the office so that we can document what our residents notice as well? If we start to see a trend, then we can address it from the village standpoint. How does that work?
Sure.
Great answer.
You know, there might actually be more noticeable smell because, Winnebago pit or whatever, I don't know what they call it now.
Winnebago
Winnebago
landfill.
County landfill is triple the size that it was. So I'm sure that we're gonna end up, whether it not comes from our side and within our county, you probably are going to notice more than we have in the past.
So yeah, there's been an expansion, not from within the landfill, within the village of Davis Junction, but the neighboring landfill that's, in Winnebago County. And I'm not gonna sit here and point fingers because I can't tell you definitively where the smell is coming from, but, I have noticed an increase of complaints after that expansion. However, that doesn't mean that we should not take this seriously and investigate any complaints that we
They-
receive, so.
I've read that the Illinois EPA has found violations
Yes.
at theirs, multiple violations at theirs, so
Yeah. So
I don't know if that has to do with the smell or not.
could we generate that log?
Mhm.
Would that be hard to do?
No.
Does that suffice, sir?
Yes, that works. Thank you.
Any more
All right.
questions?
Any other questions?
I think that's it. Thank
All right,
you.
Good luck
Thank
on
you
your
for
merit
coming.
badge.
Thank you.
Good job.
Anything else from the public? Anything else from the board?
Um,
I guess that's a
Bree?
yes.
Hold on. Don't look at my notes.
She's driving the bus.
Too many notes. I think I already missed it, but that's okay.
Oh, man.
Sale price for blowers?
That was in the ordinance.
I'm gonna wait on that until I talk to the, gentleman that might buy them.
Okay.
I don't know for sure that he still wants them, so before I say anything. Otherwise, it's no big deal, we can bring it up next meeting, so.
I thought that was in the ordinance.
Not the price, I don't think, William.
Authorization to sell, I think.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that was passed in the ordinance, authorization to sell.
she wanted me to bring up the dollar amount so the board was
It doesn't tell us how
aware.
much was sold for,
Yes,
so he was just gonna give us the update on,
Yep.
if he knew already.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We don't need to set the price.
No.
no,
I think that's all the
Figure it
notes
out.
that I have on these two pages. I think so. Okay, we're good.
All right, hearing nothing else.
Then I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Dina made a motion to adjourn, John seconded, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned.